Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear me? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me no business, me no care if them screw face, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear me? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me no business, me no care if them no worried me. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me no business, me no care if them screw face, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me no business, me no care if them not like me. Talk the things, me comfy talk the thing, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the thing, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. You know business, me not care if them screw face, wow. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the things, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me not business, me not care if them now already hear me bun too much, too much, whoa. Them not like me not like them not rate me. Me and them no friend, me don't see you care the whole of them are even. Talk the things, me comfy talk the thing, you hear? Talk the things, me comfy talk the thing, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk the things. Me no business, me no care if them screw face, whoa. Talk the things, me comfy talk.
This Mother's Day, treat those special ladies to something extra special. Father Moe and Determined Family Enterprise presents RWB, Roses Wine and Brunch.
Wine and roses for my baby.
Join us on Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac, East Coast, Demerara. Gates open from 3 p.m. for an unforgettable afternoon of great food, fine wine, and amazing vibes. Enjoy entertainment by Super Ray, DJ Aquilo, Father Moe, Gully Ras, Papa, and Mikey Spice. Plus, over $600,000 in giveaways. Early bird admission just $4,000, or go elevated VIP for $12,000. RWB, Roses Wine and Brunch. Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac. Celebrate those special ladies the way they deserve. Compliments of Barefoot Wine, Hennessy, Heineken, Tropical Rhythm, Enet, Always, Pro Graphics, Caviar Coley, 94.1 Boom FM, Moet, and Fireside Grill and Chill.
Ice the cocoa tea, the sugar, and together we are complete, darling.
Please responsibly.
Shine Bright Promotions present Hype Over Fashion. Hype Over Fashion. Fire Feelings. Birthday Celebration.
Thick man, badam, bumbo, clock rich.
Spring Color Sexy Edition. Hype Over Fashion. Saturday, May 30th, 2026 at 440 S. Charlton Road, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Music by Fire Impact International, Alliance Family, DJ Reds, and Niggas British. Hype Over Fashion. Fire Feelings. Birthday Celebration. Spring Color Sexy Edition on Saturday, May 30th. Doors open from 10 p.m. This event is sponsored by Shine Bright Promotion. Let's talk to things TV, FF Vibes Radio, and Eventually Consultancy.
Just fuck a girl from Brooklyn. Stush thing.
Well, what a brand new day, but I like do road and see if I could link one of me brethren them, but cause you done this the weekend. Like see if I could link my dog. We're going on broski, we're going on germs, everything good. You right there, so you know it's Friday and you don't know we ready for party, dog. Yeah, so you don't know we got hit a club tonight. Yeah, bro, you don't know we got party, but if we're going on germs, it's something I want to tell you long. Remember as a brethren, it's gotta be real to your brethren them. Them spot on your face, bro, you gotta do something about them thing, buddy, on a real life level, bro. You know we don't admire man and them thing, but you're my G, you understand? But I like cancer like trying for get a cream or get something for sort out this thing with G and me finding nothing. Germs here going on. You know is your dog. I got a solution. You ever hear about the skincare solution for all ages? What skincare solution for all ages you're talking about, man? Yeah, germs. I got a sister named Shelly Campbell. She got a skincare for all ages. It's the #1 direct selling skincare company in the world, bro. I'm using it. Bro, you don't tell me nothing all the time. By germs, I trying to let you know what's going on like you don't dep or nothing, dog. Are you ever going on? Collect this number and call the woman, buddy. Where's the number, bro? The number is 917-602-8456. Or you could follow her on IG at MK_Shelly3. Yeah, telling you? 917-602-8456. Germs, why you gonna call this woman and get your package, bro? Yo, again and do the now. No more land. Tell we cancel this party tonight. Come in there in them thing, but I want this thing go away. You understand? So again, I call Shelly. No.
Mind your business, make money.
Oh, not again, man. Not again. Chaja, I got to get this engine fixed. Oh, shucks. Hey, like call me, bro. Hey, what going on there? What going on, Germs? Hey, days, dog. Right now, me head hot to me, bro. Me engine ain't starting. Where me engine ain't starting? Not the other day you fix your engine. But I mean, nobody's man ain't do a good work or what, right? I want to know what part I could get me engine fixed, bro. Alright, don't say 40. I got to help you out, because you know you're my brother. Excitement. Hey, what going on? It's all about E186 General Auto Repair Inc., bro. These man, them specialize in everything when it comes to your car, your engine, your wheel, you know what I mean? Your carburetor. Whatever it is, bro, these man is the man, them go fix your vehicle. Alright, well, like no part these people them there, man. These people are located at 5731 Cooper Avenue, yeah, Glendale, Queens. You understand? You could contact them on 347-844-9333 or 347-357-8723 or 646-972-8828. It is enough number. Well, all three them number, you must get onto them, man. You never going to me wasting no more time about it. I gonna deal with this engine now. Alright, do your thing, Germs. You don't know. It's all about E186 General Auto Repair Inc. Best auto mechanic them. Definitely, guys. You understand? Alright.
Me darker than midnight. Me darker than cool.
Planning to take a trip to Guyana? Planning to do a tour in Guyana? Well, this is the ideal company for you to call. And we're talking about Matthew's 24-hour bus service, city and nature tours. Airport trip, church trip, family outing, local tour, river tour, Kaicho Fall tour, Entori, Amarinian Village, Suriname, and Brazil tour. Matthew's 24-hour bus service, city and nature tour. You guys could contact them on 592-639-2663, 592-673-2348. Let me give you back that number, 592-639-2663 or 592-673-2348. You guys could also follow him on Facebook at Matthew's 24-hour bus service, city and nature tour. Yes, guys, or you could contact Matthew direct with this number here, 639-2663. That's 639-2663. Matthew's 24-hour bus service, city and nature tour. Planning a tour? Well, definitely you guys need to check this out. Matthew's 24-hour bus service and nature tour. Get there. Do not wait for next year.
Shine Bright Promotions present Hype Over Fashion. Hype Over Fashion. Fire Feelings. Birthday Celebration.
Thick man, badam, bumbo, clad rich.
Spring Color Sexy Edition. Hype Over Fashion. Saturday, May 30th, 2026 at 440 S. Charlton Road, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Music by Fine Pack International, Alliance Family, DJ Reds, and Negus British. Hype Over Fashion. Fire Feelings. Birthday Celebration. Spring Color Sexy Edition on Saturday, May 30th. Doors open from 10 p.m. This event is sponsored by Shine Bright Promotion. Let's talk to things TV, FF Vibes Radio, and Eventually Consultancy.
Just fuck a girl from Brooklyn. Stush thing.
This Mother's Day, treat those special ladies to something extra special. Father Moe and Determined Family Enterprise presents RWB, Roses Wine and Brunch.
Anthony B. said, wine and roses for my baby.
Join us on Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac, East Coast, Demerara. Gates open from 3 p.m. for an unforgettable afternoon of great food, fine wine, and amazing vibes. Enjoy entertainment by Super Ray. DJ Aquilo, Father Moe, Gully Ras, Papa, and Mikey Spice. Plus, over $600,000 in giveaways. Early bird admission just $4,000 or go elevated VIP for $12,000. RWB, Roses Wine and Brunch. Sunday, May 10th at the BV Ground Tarmac. Celebrate those special ladies the way they deserve. Compliments of Barefoot Wine, Hennessy, Heineken, Tropical Rhythm, E-Net, Always, Pro Graphics, Cavia Coley, 94.1 Boom FM, Moet, and Fireside Grill and Chill.
Ice the cocoa tea, the sugar, and together we are complete, darling.
Please drink responsibly.
We in the building, man. What's up? What's up? Good night. Good night. Good night. I wanna say good night to you. Woo! Yeah, man, I'm gonna go. I'm in that mood. I'm alright. It's cool. It's alright. Gotta say good night, everybody. How you guys doing, man? Welcome down to the show, man. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the show again. Yeah, man. You don't know. Welcome to Let's Start the Things TV. Call-in talk show tonight. You know it goes already. Vibing on the ends, vibing on the ones and threes. And yeah, I don't know the ball game go already over here, so. You understand? So, gotta say good night. Hope you guys doing great. Hope you guys doing fine. Please like up the live for me. Please. Please like up the live for me. That's what I want y'all do. Yo, I had a hectic day. I swear to God. But there you saw. I try to hold it. I try to just deal with it, right? So please big up everybody. Yeah, man. I want to say big up to everybody that is in the building. Hope you guys doing great. Hope you guys doing fine. We in the building, man. Everything good, everything Chris. Yeah, man. Just trying to share some stuff and make sure it go there. Good night, everybody that definitely tuning in for the ones and threes. Yeah, man. Gomez in the building and everybody roping in the building. Definitely how it goes already. You see me? Want to say good night to everybody. Shelly, everybody. We're roping in Denny's. Big up yourself. Sing, rolling. Onika there in the building. Everybody roping in. Peace, 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 peace. And we definitely, you know? Yeah. It is what it is. We good. We up. So big up everybody that definitely tuning in for the ones and twos. Please like up the live. You know, there's always ask you to do. Like the live up. Yeah, give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, that's it. This is always one. We don't want nothing else. There's always one. You see me? Everybody that definitely tuning in for the ones and threes, please do the right thing and like up the live, all right? Yeah, man. All right, we in the building. Everything good, everything Chris. Good night to you guys. Hope you guys doing good. Hope you guys doing fine. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the party, you know what I mean? Everything good, everything all right, everything good, everything Chris. So big up everybody that definitely roping in for the ones and threes. Please like up the live like I told you already, guys. Call a friend, tell a friend who knows a friend. What am I doing? Wait a minute. All right. Call a friend, tell a friend who knows a friend. We in the building. Definitely we vibing tonight. Taking you up to that 10:30 hour. Yeah, baby? Hi, baby. Yes, baby. How can I help you? What you want? Anyway, like I told you guys, man, tonight we got some videos to run through. And the main video tonight that we're going to be running through, you know what I mean? Tonight also, I don't know if you guys know what's going on. I know a lot of you guys may see it, but we're going to bring it right here. So we're by the other the CCG. Definitely. Hold on, let me get it back here, Justin. Relax yourself, sad man. Sad fraud, relax. It's like me just a minute, guys. All right. It started as a CCG hearing. You understand? The CCG hearing for Mohammed extraditment, or however you put it or turn it. Yes. We got that to show tonight. Definitely that man deal with nothing a wicked. I ain't gonna tell no lie. Excuse the co-host. I don't know which she really there for. I know which she meds, but it is what it is. We got that, we got a couple more videos that we definitely gonna run through tonight. So please like up the live, call a friend, tell a friend, and know a friend, like I told you guys already. You know the code, you know how we doing it over here, right? You understand? Big up everybody on Facebook, everybody on Twitter, everybody that is on Twitch. You know it goes already. I see that this man. I know we can run it. Anyway, like I told you guys already, feel free to drop those donations in the Cash App or Zelle provided at the bottom of the screen. Or definitely, you don't know it goes. Hit that bullseye that you're seeing on your television screen, and definitely send on a super chat donation. You know it goes already, right? We need 5 super chat donation. Is our bullseye tonight, so you know how it goes already. Once again, come aboard the FF Vibes. Come aboard, let's start the things TV for your advertisement needs. You know it goes already. Contact those number 347-8016-231. You know it goes already. So you could definitely get your ads run and everything. All right, you know what I mean? Oh, all right. Right? Yeah, man, contact those number, like I said, 347-801-6231. We got some great packages. If you remember, big business, small business, business is business. That's what we're talking about. It all right like that. Whoa. And you don't hear. You don't hearing. All right, daddy love you. You understand? So like up the live, guys, everything art, everything plug in with their pony ends. I don't know what's up. Maybe taking up to that 10:30 hour. It is 8:49, soon to be 8:50. Don't know what's up. It's actually 9 o'clock. So you know it goes ready. Shout out to everybody back home. Those persons who might be working tonight. If you're not working tonight and you're at home, definitely enjoying the show. Big up yourself. Those persons who may be going to work or coming home from work at this time, big up yourself. Definitely in. Y'all relax and y'all want. Y'all enjoy your show. Shout out to Lexi. Dropping that $20 super chat donation. Yeah, man. That's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, big up everybody that definitely tuning in for the ones and threes, and definitely, you know what I mean, I always take time out to them, time for definitely, you know, tune into the show, man. It really means a lot to me to know that you guys doing this, you know what I mean, because not for y'all could then bed, sleeping, and y'all, you know what I mean, but y'all always take y'all little time out for watch the show. Once again, big up to everybody who know the show is motivate you, the show is make y'all feel good. You know what I mean? I love the show, I love the vibe, appreciate it. All those persons drop donation, whether you do or do not. You drop your comments, whether you do or do not. You take time to watch. The haters, them are watching, and all big up yourself and all, because you don't know. You're all there in the mix of everything also, you understand? So, you guys know how we doing it wrong here upon the ends. Big up everybody, like I told you guys. You know the code go already, right? Remember, if you're heading to St. Lucia, you guys could definitely, I should say, and you're looking for a 1-bedroom Airbnb, definitely you guys need to contact Cozy Studio for rent. Definitely enjoy a cozy, stylish, and tranquil restraining Mount Fortune, St. Lucia, offering a peaceful comfort for solo travelers, couples, and business visitors alike. This 1-bedroom Airbnb contains 1 bedroom, 1 bath, baby crib, air conditioner, hot and cold water, outdoor dining, barbecue grill, secure parking, and complimentary Wi-Fi. For those persons who may be interested, you guys could contact them on 758-732-4486. That's 758-732-4486. Cozy Studio for rent. That's how we're doing it. Shout out to Cater Home Healthcare Inc. Definitely in Conyers. And like I said, if you're in Conyers, you could visit them at 1424 Veterans Drive, Street, Suite 3A, Conyers. Telephone number 770-648-7532. Or you could visit them on their website at www.caterhomecare.com. Thank you. It's all about E&F General Auto Repair Inc. Shout out to my boy Feroz. Definitely if you're in Queens or Brooklyn and you're looking for that auto mechanic shop that definitely does not going to give you the hassle or go wrong, come wrong, you need to check out E&F General Auto Repair Inc. They're located at 5731 Cooper Avenue, Glendale, Queens. Telephone number 347-844-9333 or 347-357-8723. That's 347-844-9333 or 347-357-8723. Remember, this is the best auto mechanic, E&F General Auto Repair Inc. Shout out to Miss Shelly Campbell, definitely bringing to you the skincare solution for all ages. Definitely the #1 direct selling skincare company in the world. A lot of persons may be asking for her number to contact. This is how you could contact Miss Shelly Campbell on her cell. It's the number is 917-602-8456. That's 917-602-8456. Now that's not the only way you could get onto her. You could inbox her on our IG at MK_Shelly3. That's MK_Shelly3. All right. Shout out to those persons who may be in Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, 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 Queens, Brooklyn, Bron Manhattan or Staten Island, definitely, and you're looking for that health care that could definitely support your loved ones, definitely, well, God is smiling with you. Definitely, or should we say home care? Yes, if you're in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, or Bronx, you guys could contact Alisa Home Care Service. That's Alisa Home Care Service. They are committed to deliver home care service that support your needs in the comfort of your own home service. Their service provides support for daily living, social and emotional wellness, meal preparation, and skilled medical support. For those persons who may be interested, you guys could contact them on 917-893-8111 or 973-670-1987. Those numbers again, 917-893-8111 or 973-670-1987. Or you guys could visit them on their website at www.aliciahomecare.com. Talking about home care or health care. Now, if you want to head down the healthcare center, healthcare road, we should say sorry. You always wanted to head down the healthcare road. If you're in Brooklyn, listen me carefully now. If you're in Brooklyn, it's all about ADL Institute Home Health Aid Training. What's that? ADL Institute Home Health Aid Training. A new career in health care. Now, guys, they said new classes is every month, Monday to Friday, 3 weeks, 2 days, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, for those persons who may be interested, they are located at 1170 Liberty Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. If you guys are interested in registering, remember, they said students of all background, people who been out of school, slow learners who need extra time, people with no college, other training. All right? For those persons who may be interested, like I said, you guys could contact them on 718-349-8003 or 973-670-1987. Those numbers again, 718-349-8003 or 973-670-1987. It's all about ADL Institute Home Health Aid Training. All right, guys. Remember, it's about the 30th of December. What am I saying? The 30th of May is my birthday party going down right here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia for the Memorial Week, remember, save some energy definitely for my birthday party on the Saturday. You know it goes. Visible tickets will be out at least by this weekend for you guys. So if you guys want a ticket and you're in Atlanta or you're coming to Atlanta, you could link me. I'm going to keep your tickets. You could send your money, pre-order your tickets. Right now, you know me, when we get the tickets and let you know what's going on, you know me, you could pay, you know what I mean, I'm going to hold the tickets for you, definitely. If you're in Atlanta, you got to get your tickets, whoever got to get tickets, you know it go, but still, you guys could go on Eventbrite at this said moment here and get tickets also. Visit my website at www.letstartthethingsTV.com and definitely get your tickets, okay? Remember also on the 22nd of May, it's all about Mr. B and Peter presents the annual Mix and Mingle pastel color and white edition. Our road is a front page event. That's 8010 Rockbridge Road, Latonia, Georgia. So if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you know how that goes already. Yeah, man, they got some nice party definitely in Atlanta. Remember, Mother's Day is coming, so you guys go check out the party. If you're going to be in Guyana, shout out to my East Coast crew. Saturday the 10th of May is all about RWB, Rose, Wine, and Brunch. Yes, it's a Mother Day party. Our courtesy Father Moya and the Determined Family Enterprise. Our road leads to where? BV Grung, Tarmac, East Coast, Demerara. Bye. I tell you, bye. Nothing like an East Coast party. East Coast party sweet. I'm telling you, no joke. Nevertheless, man, you know it goes already. All right? So here we're going on. We beating it, we going it, we kicking it, and we rolling it. So you don't know the ball game already. Y'all sight me. Y'all don't know I feel like this, you know? I don't know. I ain't like our feeling, you know. So guess what's going on? I just get charged.
Gang. I got Lance Corporal Singh, new in this division here right now. And
yeah,
yeah. Oh Lord.
I ain't really like our feeling enough.
Charging.
Don't like our feeling that draw for Red Bull.
Mr. Sing. Yo.
Draw for energy drink.
Cause when we step out on the road, any mini bus overload. Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license registration, everybody off again. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh Lord.
It's a good night to you, man. I feel like I was getting a little charge. Gotta play this one and get charged up. Log into the live.
Yo.
Everybody make me charge up now, man.
Cause when we step out on the road,
God.
any mini bus overload. Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license registration, everybody off again. Yo, Mr. Pulling at the corner. Me just smell some marijuana. Mr. Stop the bleeding. You shouldn't.
We talking about.
Everybody off again. Charge.
Let's go.
Today me off you make it.
Yeah.
If you make it's Monday.
God.
Come me one buy a new check.
Tuesday.
Cause we still get paid.
Let's go.
If you get cash, like me with your side piece.
Boop, boop.
You want pass it right there. And if you like talk of my people business, you gotta get charged.
There we go.
Cause when we step out on the road, any mini bus overload. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh Lord.
Definitely, man. It's Tuesday night. You know the vibe is already. Yeah, just get in charge of a little. Then we got into the show. You know the vibe is. Tucking down.
Yo.
You too, Adriana.
Cause when we step out,
The purple heart is it.
any mini bus overload.
Charge.
Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license registration, everybody off again. Yo, Mr. Pulling at the corner. Me just smell some marijuana. Mr. Stop the bleeding. You should never speed it.
Everybody. Charge.
Charge.
Today we have to make it. Money up.
Money off you make is Monday. Got me one buy a new chain. And me rent off you still get paid.
Oh.
If you get cash, like me with your side piece.
Oh.
You see what? Pass it right there.
Oh.
If you like talk of my people business,
Oh.
you gotta get charged same way. Cause when we step out on the road, any mini bus overload. Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license registration, everybody off again. Yo, Mr. Pulling at the corner.
Just mess up my ribbon.
Mr.
That.
Stop the bleeding, you should have never speed it.
Everybody have to get charged.
Get charged. Yo, bling, yo, I have to tell you something. Some people on the road, they deserve a charge.
Oh.
Some always crying. Rock, but them still liming. And some gas light on, but them still drive.
Everybody will check in for the ones and trees. You know the vibe is already.
You see the one makeup, that's a charge. Oh, so if you borrow in the clothes,
People regret it.
that's a charge for sure.
You know them regret it.
When we step out on the road,
Here you go.
any bus overload.
Charge.
Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license registration, everybody off again. Yo, Mr. Pulling at the corner. Me just smell some marijuana. Mr. Stop the bleeding, you should have never speed it. Everybody off to get charged. Every time the one bling see me, squaddy me.
I got no money.
Boss, I got the explanation for the situation. But all he wanna do is just every time he see me with my girlfriend, dog means not a bad person. Yeah, why when he see me, he come around me funny like a magnum.
I have to get charged.
Cause when we step out on the road, any mini bus overload.
It's charged.
Yo, Mr. Body Citation, license.
Good night, everybody. We're opening for the ones and trees. You know the vibe is already.
Yo, Mr. Pulling
Like up the live as you step in, people. Like up the live.
some marijuana. Mr. Stop the bleeding, you should have never speed it. Everybody have to get charged. Take charge. Take charge. Take charge. Take charge.
Definitely, man. That's what we're talking about. And you know, we're talking about getting charged up by rights. I mean, some people, we there for no boring on. Big up to everybody that definitely tune in for the ones and trees, the trees and fours. Like I said, like up the live, please, as you forward. They're not going to see what's going on here. Yeah. Wait a minute, guys. We got 32 likes. So far, we got 184. So it is go. All right, we ain't watching nothing. We not even stress it. We not even headache it. Like I said, big up to everybody that definitely tuning in for the ones and threes. Today was an interesting piece of what really went down. You know what I mean? Interested indeed. And I'm not gonna tell no lie. You know we got to definitely bring it forward to you guys, quick and fast. Let me make sure we get everything all right. The audio is a little low. Just a minute. Shout out to Miss Gomez dropping that $2 donation, man. Loretta, stop doing the mama. All right, cool. I gotta try to find up on the next piece. Like I said, everybody roping in for the ones and twos. Everybody roping in. Everybody all right? All right, don't know the thing already. Please like up the live has definitely be kick off. So as we go down the line, big up to everybody that tune in. Please give the video a thumbs up. And then you don't know what's up, we kick off the show, all right? Thanks to everybody who dropping their donation. How do you know? Who donation dropping is only one of the same. That's crazy. All right, we can see if they don't come through just now. All right. Let me jump into this video here, so quick and fast. And as we kick off, as I find the parties with Nandalal at the CCJ hearing today. Okay, guys? Shout out to everybody that tuning in. You know how we're doing it wrong here, so we drop this video and we're going to interact as everybody roping in right now. Be careful, Lyric. Let's get this, guys.
Hi, good day, ladies and gents. Here what I come for expose somebody today. I come to expose somebody on Facebook. Yeah. Alright. Let me explain myself. Got a partner. I got a partner call me and say, man, twins. I see a car, like he send the car to me. And then he say he see a bike. First he say he see the bike and then he say he see the car. So the individual say, man, I go in for the bike first and then I go for the car. So the individual asked me to transfer some money to his account to do a little paperwork. Not much money. Like $30,000. So I decided to ask him for the account name, MMG account name, and the person number. You understand? So this individual give me the account name. The account name is Ishmael Jordan. Ishmael Jordan. Yeah, that's with the account name. And the number is 721-6407. 721-6407. Oh, sure, because I'm supposed to got a cigarette in my mouth right now when I see her talking because like I can't catch myself, you know. Supposed to get cigarette for cool man off. Anyway, forget about that. When I start smoking, I'm gonna start walking with a whole pack of cigarettes. When I start smoking enough. Yeah. Anyway, Ishmael Jordan, that is the MMG account name. 721-6407. It's a scam. Yeah, he's a scammer. This man got something from Facebook according to what my partner told me. This man got right up on Facebook. People will just be calling into him from time to time when you want name change from one person. If you're giving somebody your vehicle or you're selling a vehicle and you want name to change from one person to the next, he got thing put up on Facebook stating that that is the work, yeah, he just be doing for people. And he tell my partner to transfer $30,000 to his account, and things could be done. So when I transfer the money to his account, I send the details, I send the transaction and everything to my partner. So it's alright, good. He said the individual turned off his phone when he called me. He said the individual is not answering, and when he do answer his phone, he said, man, he's a busy man. Call you back next 5 minutes, he's a little busy right now. So the individual, when you see the call cut off, that was it. He blocked the number with the man calling, he put all the number then he blocked. So the man asked me to call him with my number. So I said, man, if he block your number, he's gonna block my number too. You understand? So if he's a scammer, that is what he's going to do. When I try him with my phone goes straight to voicemail. You understand? I did not get you. So I want Guyanese to be careful of these people that is be putting up things on Facebook and telling people to wire money in MMG account because of XYZ. You understand? It's not nice for a man come on Facebook and bumble out himself and calling people who are working hard at that for the money. Now $30,000 gone down the drain, stupid for the individual. You understand? You still gotta make my money, right? You know that too. So my money is okay, but it's not something nice coming from Facebook, Ishmael Jordan, and making yourself a bumble. You understand? So I asked him if he ever see the person in face. He said no. He see the guy on Facebook, and he decided to call the number because the guy have his number there.
There's how all of them is fall for what them is got for fall for. Cause like them is chubby. There's one who is wrong with some of them, boy. Them ain't grow up in the times when mommy said don't buy pig in black bag. Them ain't come up in them time there. Because you don't see this individual on Facebook. You won't find out nothing more. You won't ask nobody. You won't nothing. And this is the individual he talking about. He see money secure. But the next person lose his money 30 grand. Because why? He ain't focus. He must even using hocus pocus
to get paperwork done, because there's a lot of paperwork. Is not only car and bike paperwork. A lot of paperwork you gotta be changed and you gotta get done. So this guy take $30,000 for everything. You understand? Without he seeing the guy face.
Yeah, good.
And he lifestyle, Farai, Madonna, and all the rest of the loyal listeners.
Yes, sir.
That man is dog on the bone, bro.
You say it, man.
Yeah, dog on the bone. More they will get, more they want. That's why their pocket gonna get burned. They're too greedy. They're in content. You see? When you eat, that's what I said. Look up to today, I get a call about $50,000 and all crap. You see? I said, bro, me know what you talking about, vibe. The two breeds them more you. Listen, this thing they about all along. On the internet all over. Enough of them still looking because they ain't paying attention. They're just paying attention to the money the people they're talking about. You see?
Yeah.
There you go. I dear listening, but I waiting for the one you bringing up there, but I did it. I watch the clip today where you put up. I can't crack. I say, yo, I can't wait for tonight.
Yo, them man see by. Yeah, good.
I can't wait. I did.
Good. Yes, sir. Y'all don't know the vibe is. Let me finish this out.
You understand? So, I say, man, I really like the movie. Maybe the movie is not wise move. You understand? Next time you send the money to people MMG, is either you see the person face to face, and you and them reason before you send your money to them. Yeah, it is nice to send between MMG. You got your identity and everything, but this matter ain't finished. You know, this matter will go straight into the authority in MMG office, and we're gonna get down to the bottom of this here. And Ishmael Jordan, you understand? Ishmael Jordan that take this money and got people on a long draw down scenario. You gotta be careful, because the opponents that tell me to send the money to you, it's not no easy, buddy. I said, if we see you before the police you better call for God. You understand? For save you. Cause you're not gonna do you nothing. Are you gonna stand up and watch? You understand? Yeah. So Ishmael Jordan is a scam, people. Letting you all know again. Ishmael Jordan is the name of the account. 721-6407 MMG account. It's a scam. Putting up things on Facebook stating that he could change documents in other people's name. You understand? And he got thing posted up on Facebook. Well, I don't know the Facebook name, the profile name on Facebook, but this is the MMG name. Ishmael Jordan 721-6407. You understand? So Ishmael Jordan matter right now is pending until further notice. You understand? Yeah. Ishmael Jordan gotta be careful. Yeah, there's a lot of scammers all over in Guyana scamming people. I don't know how they get to make this MMG account if they kill somebody and because they know the password and they tell the people account and they're doing nonsense. We don't even know if Ishmael Jordan is alive. You understand? It could be.
The man said, don't know if they kill. Me know if they kill somebody and take the hey, sad man is trouble. Oh my God. They want done a man and take your account. Me know if there's a guy now. These one of them is criminal, these one of them is scam, these one of them is scammers. Yeah.
Be some dead person's ID card, all, you understand? So right now we just gotta be vigilant and know how we doing things when it comes to topping up MMG.
Yes.
You understand? My only money in my account. $30,000 is a poor man.
What do them always say? Why this? What it says? Smart to the government. Why is it the population or whatever? Yeah, I don't know. And this we be saying, right? This is what we be saying on a real life level, right? A lot of things I would love to see Guyana transform into when it comes to these things like America here, so whereby easy access instead of lining up and thing and wherever is case. Which in people is still line up to go in the bank when they got card. Because sometimes the ATM full, sometimes inside full. But easy access, this stuff. But the thing is, I feel like Guyana is still the third world kind of people would now get it for learn them kind of thing. These things, they got people that literally depend learning how to scam people through these things. Because first was the E-card. You even scamming with the E-card, with the code and whatever. Now the MMG. Then got people doing stupidness with MMG now, like the man said. He posing up on Facebook that he could change people's name. And this time is a fake MMG thing. When you send your money gone. But you got to steal meds. You got to steal heights. Like, you can't just do things just to dry. You got to know where you're getting into. You know what I mean? You just can't go by say or hearsay. Because them say seeing is better than hearing. But sometimes you just gotta make sure what you're seeing is real. Because they got enough thing is present themselves to be what you think it's supposed to be, but it's not just like they say so. He doing this thing, he posing up, nah boy, I gotta get down to this thing. Like at least in these time here, sir. At least in these time here, Guyanese people shouldn't take everything for granted. I doubt whether as a Guyanese, don't take everything for granted, especially when it comes to these things with your account and your money involved. Do not take everything granted. Because enough of these things is end up coming down as scamming. I telling you, bro. Then got people, you might try for hook up the bank thing for get your 100,000. I might got some scammer next, got your thing next, you sending. So heaven knows if it's not a scammer, she end up running up to the last time with the video with Mohammed. When she go and check and she send she money to One Republic, she see she money that she bank account that Demerara. Sometimes was a scammer. They don't hack she account and does thing in and thing in. Sometimes we there in an age whereby scamming is a thing, bro. And you got to focus right now when it comes to your money, your hard working money. Not everything you're running and just do soon as you see something come out. Nobody. Best you stick to your old school. Best you stick to your old school where you surviving with.
I don't know why people take my money. You understand? But we will get down to the bottom of this. I'm a hard working man and I don't like nonsense. Ishmael Jordan, I'm sorry for you, my boy. You understand? I'm sorry for you if the police ain't catch you. And me people them catch you before the police catch you. You understand? It's not gonna end up nice at all. All you get for you gonna be we own. Yeah. So be careful, Ishmael Jordan. Be careful. You understand?
Heaven knows if there's a name. Heaven knows if there's the right name. There's the next thing you got to know. Heaven knows if there's the right name. If you never see this man face to face, is one thing. You know what I mean? If you never see face to face, phone lines open. You know what I mean? On a real life level. If you never see this man face to face, well, there's a different thing, because you don't know if the name is his name. It's right, man, you don't know though. What? Like I said, people gotta be careful. Respect Colin. This is the same thing I said, Shelly. This is the same thing I just me even see you said though. Me even see, now I look in the chat and I see where they in the chat. This is the same thing I say. I say you better we hope you better as hope this is the right name. Because everything them man is got as fake. You know what I mean? Sometimes just because your account is fake, the name could be fake. Once you see the person specifically inside the man's face, it's a whole different scenario in order for pinpointing him. Because like his friend said, he never see the man's face. He does see something pose up. And right now we living in a world with AI. So a man could make up a man picture looking like this banner. Like Jordan. You say? Yeah. The man could put, and you, this how things is. By this, what I'm telling you, I see when it come to me money, I don't care how much people say, hey, you old school and you old and you this. I can still say being surviving like that. Me say me willing for give a new thing, try me, willing for give a new thing a chance. But I very skeptical with certain thing, buddy. Me say I can't get scam. Me say, but then hard for you get scam, bro. You gonna hard. So hope the man is the right name. Hope the man is the right whoever sees the right though, because once it's not, y'all ain't catching it.
They were those them scammers don't use a real number, you know. They use a number with your car robo. With your car, if you try call back, you would never get anybody. And the number that is on the computer, and you know who that use it? Calling said like collection agency. They would never call you on the right number. So in a number of things, if they give you the 1-800 number for call them, that's but if you tell call back, they so all what you just say you them like I just said, greed. They're too damn greedy. More they get, more they want. They feel it could take. So when they're dropping to the man feeling they're gonna get what they want, the man don't plan for them. You see? Content with what you get. Stop walking and show your money. Idea listening.
Rough. I know, like, big up everybody definitely tuning in for the ones and threes. You know what I mean? I telling you, buddy, it's like, there's weird, like, big up everybody, anybody else got anything to say with this? Mr. Jordan, is it right here? Mr. Ishmael, be very, very sorry. You said, man, really got really skin out. You really got to open your eyes. And then we jump into this final video, and then we head straight into the CCG hearing that they had. And let me get to see what really went down with that. We might go up to, let me say, we end up to 10:30. We might go up to 11 o'clock. That's it. Depends on how it run. We can try to speed it up a little, but I want to see if I could touch on peak. And as we go through, let me see how we could do with it. But you don't know what's going on. Like I said, tomorrow is Wednesday. And tomorrow is what? The 22nd. Then we got the 23rd, then the 24th. So remember, Adriana tribute right here, so. You know, we're doing it purple down, as you could see the banner running at the bottom is purple. Same thing like we said, purple heart in the chat. Yes, guys, be careful. Be careful when it comes to your money. Anyway, let me jump into this video. Let's hear what's really going on here, so.
What up, folks? It's your boy Shazam. And guess what? Not one positive message. Well, you can take it positive, take it negative, but I'm here to share some bad news. And the bad news is for all my Guyanese people living in the fastest growing economy in the world right now, oil booming, and the government making some decisions based on maybe agenda, voting, whatever, trying to be popular, trying to be, I don't know. Guess what? You're not being fully intelligent because a lot of people hyped up about the cash grant that they're getting and a wonderful government, and we're making a lot of money with oil. Guess what? Don't get lost in this whole hype, because in order for Guyana to move forward with the Guyanese people benefiting from everything, the Guyanese people will have to do something that I'm not sure they're ready to do, and that's change the mindset. Change the mindset. I'm not talking about the locals, but also the people in position. For example, Guyana is giving away cash grants every now and then, 100,000 everyone in Guyana. Nice, right? Number one, you don't help people by giving them money. You help people by giving them opportunities to make money. All right? You can disagree with that. Drop it in the comment. But you don't help people with money. You help people with opportunities, right? Government, number two. I hear building so many different hospitals in Guyana. First of all, building so many different hospitals, okay, for rapid care, easy access, nice. But, I mean, try to prevent people from going to the hospital instead of building more hospitals. Second, invest the money in resources. If people with diabetes, Guyana has a high number of diabetics. If you see these numbers, I mean, provide the proper resources for these people instead of having high bills, you know. I mean, get the equipment that they need. I mean, proper dialysis, coverage from the government and so on. Why should people suffer? Well, the doctors, you know, and a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them. I know there are a lot of good doctors out there, but in most cases, it's all about money. It's not about caring for the patient anymore. Why? Because they have to do this, do that, and they prolong the process, you know, having people diving into their pockets where they cannot even reach. I mean, so I think this is just part one, you know, of what I'm going to bring at you. But I mean, there needs to be a change in mindset, not only from the people right at the bottom, but also the people at the top, from presidency to ministers and hospital, medical, specialists and so on. You know, what are we doing? Live for the people, you know. Money is temporary. Money will always be made, but the Guyanese people, listen, we have a population of 800,000 people living in Guyana. With oil,
we got more than that. We got 900,000 right now.
To be a lot of foreign investors coming in. 800,000 people, that's not that much. So if you don't take care of your people right now, invest in education, invest in the youths, and give proper resources, you know, help people to change the mindsets, then Guyanese people in a few generations, no more. So, whatever you decide, agree or disagree, it doesn't matter, you know, but at the end of the day, mindset. So, drop it in the comment if it is.
Mindset. Same thing with the brother say. And for know that this man is an Indian brother and you hear the man reason there. This is why he's just saying, who is really these men them, where's call them man again? Oh shit, boy. Not tutor, it's call them advisor. Who is these men them advisor? Because when you hear persons like this, he so come out and speak certain things that is factual pertaining to what the government should do, to how they see things, that because for listening him, you could see he's very intellectual with what he's saying. Stop rubbing it on your skin, no man, boo-boo. I don't want you with a whole but. This is me, boss. Yeah. Like, how these people, them, and for listening, the young man, you could see he's educated, but he know what they're saying. So it's not a random man who just want to talk. This somebody who see that is a Guyanese that is seeing what's going on in Guyana and seeing that as a country that have all the money, what the government really doing from there not doing. Now this is what I keep saying. when persons come out and speak these things, we're saying they hate the government. It's not nothing like that. People are highlighting stuff that they are seeing lacking within the government, not doing. So that's why persons, so what, people can't talk, people can't say nothing. You understand? Buy the equipment like the man say, spend money upon the schools, them, the kids, them. Come on, we tired of them youth. School leaking, bench broke up, teachers striking, teachers ain't got them money. No, come on, pay the teachers them money so the teachers them could feel good to teach the children them. Pay the teachers them the money so come on. You know what I mean? Ways it with y'all and the teachers them. Why the teachers them can't get the money where they're supposed to get, they said moment here, so. Everything with the man said just now is factual. You know what I mean? But you talk about it, you can hear that over here. You're talking against the government, you hate the government, it's everything government. It's not everything government, but these are the things we government is get calling. If we get too call and then you don't know we forward. You know what I mean? Big up everybody in the building. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Where about now? The man even tell the man get advice, the man ain't listening to none of them. Cause what the man feel they're doing is right, just like Donald Trump and all of them. You see? First thing, education. What school does all the kids and all them go to? Private school. That's where the money go. And I sure that us get some of these private school subsidized. Yes, right?
You're crazy.
And none of them kids is in public school. So I there in Guyana. I get me boy. Just pick up and drop off. Not for them. Some of them minister kids. And in private school, what does one of them school? A school right there by the what they call it again? Something college by the wrong by the passport office. A private school. You don't spend how much money for go there? Enough for them kids in there, bro.
I tell you.
You see? Because that's why I say, no matter who say and what they say, them, like you say, the people at the bottom is them people gonna push them backward, and them at the top, the government gonna keep going forward, meaning they're going forward with big agenda. They get time with poor people agenda. Idea listening.
Good, man. All right, guys. Time for we jump into the segment whereby we focus on this piece of hearing that they had. Pinpoint, we can skip a couple things we thing and you know what I mean? We can try to dissect it right through guys a 3-hour video. We're not gonna sit down listen to the whole 3-hour video. You know what I mean? We can try cut and see what we could catch within the whole realms with whatever, right? Because we see whereby Muhammad was there, his father, his attorneys, everybody was there. Remember, we're going to be back here tomorrow, 8:30. You know, the vibe has already got some update to run on the Spanish with the bombing and so forth. I haven't get to touch as yet. So tomorrow, we're going to definitely touch on that. With the Spanish being, on the people with the Spanish and the co-workers that got released. We got that to bring for you tomorrow. So, you know what I mean? So, tomorrow is Wednesday. You know how the code go already. Alright? We up and running on book. Tribute to Adriana. All the time, Adriana, you don't know. Thursdays, you day. But as we go up the road, you don't know when. And big up everybody. Let's jump straight in to the hearing with the CCG. Oh, guy. Cha-cha. Alright, guys. Let's get this. I just want to let you know, guys, it's kind of low. So if there's anything, you guys may got to turn it up a little on your end because it's kind of low. All right? All right.
Time, energy, expenses have gone on for that determination to be made, and as in judicial review, a legitimate option is reconsideration before different and more impartial and independent decision maker.
Absolutely, Miller. Absolutely. I mean, the premise support will address the cultural delegation, will address the issue of some other person can do it. There's no reason why. In the case of Rome, that decision is routinely taken.
So that for you, well, thank you. So for you, your outcome on this is not that this must be quashed. It's
absolutely nothing.
It is simply that this particular reference of the ATP infected, the minister being infected by the Attorney General in particular, because of what you allege. I'm not suggesting I think that way, that makes it a corrupt, I use that technically, I don't mean otherwise, a legally corrupt decision. And therefore it should be remitted to an impartial and independent alternative decision maker for reconsideration. That would be acceptable to you and your client?
Absolutely. That has been our case all along the way, Miller.
No, but I misunderstood you. I apologize. I saw your intention was there could be no possible.
At the court of appeal, we're not saying that this is the end of the extradition at all, or the request. What we are saying is that exactly what Millard has so eloquently put, that another official who is not biased could do it under Kaltuna, under the interpretation that Cameron from his court will address that issue.
Yes, Mr. Ford will address that issue.
Yes, Millard.
Wonderful. So if you don't mind, Mr. Ford, I think we are all ears. Now, I think we have asked so many questions of your colleague that it would not be fair to leave it on the 4 minutes. So we are going to give you some more time, but please be as concise as you could be. Please, thanks.
I just try to think one point before I leave, Millard, and that is I think you have brought it. There are two ways of approaching this issue. The first way is the way that the little friend has suggested. And in all of those cases, those are policy positions. In the cases of Imperial Oil, Franklin, those are policy issues. Those are political issues, political promises. Those are developmental issues. Those are environmental issues. And in that case, what you have is a minister approaching the matter with an open mind, and the cases all speak to that. This is a case about rights and interests, and therefore, what happens is in that situation, this is a case that has to be approached from the point of view of bias, whether apparent bias or presumed bias, and therefore an anxious scrutiny according to Bugatti and in according to Ferguson and Galbraith, and true as well, anxious scrutiny of the rights, and therefore that is the distinction. The distinction is that you can't tamper down what it is that is state has, what the state actors have said in the matter. But what you can do is you can apply the appropriate test, not approaching the issue that their mind, but understand it is adjudicative or non-adjudicative, applying the warranty and delegating the power to someone else. And that is essentially what our case is. The approach is different, and Mr. Mendes' case is all deal with a clear mind, with a statute, with a minister dealing with planning.
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, Council, but I think you have made that point before, and you have now left Mr. Ford with 2 minutes. So,
and I was very heartened by the question asked by Justice Jamada, because it positions our case in a very practical and realistic way. A way that has not been captured in the decision of the Court of Appeal or at first instance, where our arguments have been portrayed as one in which we're simply saying that this bias, no other minister could deal with it, and that is simply the end of the matter. Your Honor, we have cited and relied on the Section 27 of the Interpretation Act, which we believe provides a broad and general power for the minister to delegate statutory functions under the Fugitive Offenders Act. The Fugitive Offenders Act does not prohibit, either expressly or explicitly, the possibility of a delegation occurring, let's say, by the very minister. Section 27 of the Act, Your Honor, provides the power to delegate. It's been the argument on the other side that what we contemplate is an ad hoc delegation. Bearing in mind the approach to be very realistic, we believe that the section permits a delegation for the purposes of the case. The minister is entitled, after the completion of the exercise of that delegation, that function, because of the peculiar circumstances of this case, to revoke the delegation if they wish, and to resume the full exercise of the powers vested in the minister on
may I ask you, Mr. Ford, is the power as you conceive it to delegate at large? Can the minister delegate to anybody?
The section says, Section 20.
Yes, we're familiar with the section, but I'm just asking you whether the minister could delegate to anyone, or would it need to be another minister? Because, as you know, the FOA speaks in terms of the minister exercising certain functions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right now, if Nandalal could turn Hulk or turn rename again Mabai, the dinosaur man, that was Sky Gonzilla, everybody would get burned up there. Everybody would get beat up. How we there looking at it like, yo, I just want tell you about your S.
President.
There's no underline look.
Your Honor, the section refers to the exercise of the delegation by the minister to any public officer. Section 27 refers to the exercise.
Mr. Ford, after you finish the president's question
Let me go down the road.
Of Home Affairs.
in the absence of a definition,
Certainly, and I agree with
Other than the minister to participate in the functioning of that section. And the section 12.2 does not have an equivalent provision. So I suspect by implication, the question is, or the proposition is that section 12.2 does not allow for the application of section 27.
and my answer, Your Honor, is that Section 8 Interpretation General Clauses Act, specifically by Section 3.2 and by Section 27, does exactly the same thing as what Section 6 does expressly in relation to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, in that it specifically provides for the delegation by the minister, whoever the minister may be, who has functional authority or superintendence over the matters of extradition, to engage in a delegation. The section says that this act shall apply to all laws, and section 27 specifically says that the minister, the president, shall have that power to delegate any function under law. Under the law being, of course, section 12, to delegate that power to a minister, so the public servant. So effectively,
We have your submission on that, not a difficulty. Could I just ask you though, would the decision of the minister to delegate, um, given your point of view that the minister could delegate, would that then be subject to judicial review? If the minister delegated, this case, her functions to another minister, would not the problems that you have with the current minister also arise there?
Your Honor, interestingly, section 27 does not permit the delegation to another minister. It permits delegation to a public officer, which in the context of it may be interpreted to include by definition a minister, but my interpretation, Your Honor, which is favorable with a realistic, fair, and just determination of this case, in view of the principles outlined by Justice Yamada, the need to have criminal processes flow, while at the same time protecting rights and having a balance. It is nothing. There's nothing prohibiting, Your Honor, the minister from exercising the delegation power to delegate it to a public officer
Of
other
her
than
choosing.
other than a minister
Yes,
of
I'm
her
not quite
choosing.
sure where that there's that limitation. But in any event, what I'm asking you is that the minister, under your theory, can delegate her powers to any public officer of her choosing.
Yes, Your Honor. And that is exactly
Would
what.
you not have the same kind of issue than Mr. Ford?
No, Your Honor. Because, Your Honor, in the case, for example, um, not exactly in the same antecedent facts, but in the case of Froome, the minister delegated to a lawyer in the ministry in Canada the power to issue an ATP, and the court upheld the exercise of that delegation and the validity of the ATP in that case.
Is that
So,
included in your submission?
yes, Your Honor,
Yeah.
we have.
Thank you. Okay, we'll look at it. Thank you very much. I think we follow you on that point, Mr. Ford. Is there any other point you wanted to urge on us, either in delegation or otherwise?
Your Honor, so we we would have relied both on the very Interpretation Act and the Cartona principle
Yeah.
as expressed and upheld in the Froome case. As a matter of fact, it's at paragraph 8 of our affidavit of our applicant's reply to the Attorney General submission. We specifically refer to the Froome case and to the paragraph 139 upon which we rely in that decision. So there's no need for me to read
Okay.
it here. And we also refer to Your Honor to the fact to the Bourbas case where the court recognized the relevant facts court. So
Let me speed it up a little, guys.
the Privy Council specifically said that the question of bias and abusive process are not questions to be ventilated in the magistrate's court. And in a slightly different context, the decision of the Court of Appeal of Belize in Leach, as I recall, the Court of Appeal of Belize indicated that the respondents to an extradition proceedings must be given every opportunity and at the first opportunity to raise challenges which goes to the proceedings. So I just wanted to condition and add our response to waiver, and then we can move on to the next point. So, Your Honor, we have, as I recall, 3 cases. 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 3 and to the question as to whether it could have been deferred to a later stage, coupled with the fact, Your Honor, that this is a clearly a rights case at its essence, um, and I wish to adopt the position of Justice Jamadar in the
have perhaps drawn the comment. Can we read
to the features which are necessary for the establishment
On the issue of the
by the applicant's attorneys to the Minister of Home Affairs, and we say that those letters indicate that the applicants were engaging the minister as the minister responsible for extradition and the exercise of extradition functions. Clearly,
Mr. Mendes, if I may interrupt you, sorry.
Sorry.
Could just trying to understand your submissions on this point. If you could help me. So is it your argument then or submission that the applicant should have brought some kind of preemptive application? I've read your submissions with regard to the letters, the exchange of correspondence, but are you saying that there was some obligation on their part to bring some kind of litigation to preclude the minister from dealing with this?
No, that's not what we are submitting. What we are submitting is that by those letters, they engage the minister in the first respect to ask the minister to use her good offices effectively to ensure that there would be a peaceful, as it were, surrender to any warrant that might be issued as a consequence of the commencement of extradition proceedings. And in relation to the second letter, that is the letter from Mr. Hughes, as the second applicant has said in his affidavit, what they were doing in that letter was engaging the minister on the Catroni issue. That is to say, on the
Like up the live, guys. Like up the live. I know it kind of thing, but we're running through it. We got to get some substance out to it, you know?
issue as to whether Guyana, as opposed to the United States, was the proper forum for the airing of these allegations made against them. So they say, this is what the second applicant said. He said in his affidavit that they were engaging the minister as the minister who had the power to issue the ATP on that question. And we respectfully submit that having engaged the minister in her capacity as the extradition minister, they waived their right later on to say, well, you can't make any decision in relation to the ATP because you are infected by bias. So we don't say that they should have brought proceedings. We are saying. So, Mr.
Mendes, can I ask you a slightly more fundamental question on that? Is it that in instances of bias that
waiver has seemed sort of effect, or is it that in where there are allegations of bias because of, well, I'm not going to reveal this with you why that is important for procedural justice, etc., that this question of waiver must be looked at a little differently. Would you say that there's any um, nuance around waiver when bias is at stake?
The submission that we are making is on the assumption that the rule against bias would otherwise apply. In other words, the assumption of our argument is that the minister is compromised by bias either because there's automatic disqualification or because the the Mercer test, let us call it that, would be applicable and would result in a decision that the decision is vitiated by bias. The waiver argument runs very simply this way: that if you have a problem with a decision maker on the grounds of bias, then you have to take the point with the minister. If you don't take the point, then you will be taken to have waived bias, and you cannot raise it later on. That is essentially the principle of law that is stated very clearly in the authorities. So this is why I'm saying, I'm sorry, Your Honor, make that you issued on the 31st of October 2020, and you will see it attached to the Act itself at electronic page number 33008, and it is a form, and it is addressed to the worship, and there are about 4 blanks to be filled in. One of the blanks is the date. The first blank reads, a request having been made to the minister by on behalf of blank,
And them get blank. Bombard.
it was something that was a candidate for other consideration, but it could happen that a request is made by a treaty territory, but for some reason the government of Guyana is of the view that this request should not be entertained at all because of whatever else may be taking place on the international stage between Guyana and that particular country. There may be many other political reasons why Guyana may decide not to accede to a extradition request at all, and therefore, in the minister's discretion, decide not to issue it. My point is, therefore,
I know this is not central at all to the discussion, but if the minister is satisfied that the conditions set out in the statute have been fulfilled, would the minister not come under an international obligation to issue the ATP? And if that issuance does not take place, will that not represent a potential breach
of the treaty arrangements. But are you then saying that this court would not have jurisdiction to inquire into that breach?
That would be not for this court, but the point is that that would exist at the international law level. But the point is that the fact that the legislation gives the minister the discretion whether to issue the authority to proceed indicates that maybe exceptionally that the minister could decide not to issue it at all. My point is that there is a political element in both the issuance of the ATP and in the issuance of the ultimate order for extradition. And this is why the legislature has made the choice of vesting in the minister the power to exercise the extradition functions, and not, for example, in the director of public prosecutions, and not, for example, in the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or some other functionary of that sort. It clearly is important and is consistent with extradition law and consistent with the need to ensure that we comply with our international obligations, that it is a minister, a member of the executive, a member of the cabinet, that is vested with the extradition functions.
But you say there's an overlap between that argument and the issue of delegation?
That is correct. So the point is that whereas my learned friend is urging upon you that the minister could have exercised the power under the Interpretation and General Clauses Act to delegate to a public officer. Respectfully, that would run contrary to the intention of the Fugitive Offenders Act. It runs contrary to the intention of the legislature investing that power in a minister, because that decision.
Can we just pause a little bit? So let's suppose you are right on that. Is it then part of your argument that the only minister is the Minister of Home Affairs? Or is it that, so I'm sort of adopting your not conceded, but for argument's sake, acceptance that there is infection through bias. Let's suppose that is the status quo.
Yes.
And let us take your point that under 27 is not applicable, and the intention is, because of everything you've just said, the political executive function, it must be a minister. If, and I know you're not conceding this, if the Minister of Home Affairs was in fact clearly infected by bias, actual or otherwise, what would be the result, given your construction of 12, i.e. that it is only the minister who could exercise this power?
If it is only the minister, then the minister has no choice but to exercise it. And the fact that the minister is apparently biased is of no moment.
All right. Suppose the minister was actually biased. Suppose there is, because you could have both, you could have actual bias. So suppose there was evidence, clear evidence of the minister having some sort of pecuniary or other interest in the outcome, however that evidence came out. Would your position be the same?
Okay, if I may use this example, let us assume that the person who the United States wishes to have extradited is the minister's child. In those circumstances, obviously, all of the arguments that we have presented as to the modification of the rule against bias would be very difficult to make. So what ought to happen in these circumstances is that the president ought to relieve the minister of the extradition functions temporarily and vest that portfolio in another minister. And that
way you preserve the impartiality for the decision maker, because okay, so that you I understand clearly what you're saying, so that the portfolio remains the determinative consideration as to which minister. But the infection by bias is cured not by delegation to a public officer pursuant to 27, but by the removal of the portfolio from the person affected to another person.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. But you will say that is not a delegation then.
If I may, Peter,
Sorry,
or
sorry.
it does not have to be by the shift in portfolio, but by the appointment of another member of cabinet, another minister, to act as Minister of Home Affairs for a limited period, etc., to execute those functions. So the portfolio remains with the Ministry of Home Affairs, but a different person is acting as the minister. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Mendez, if I may,
sorry,
just quickly. So, in Froome, where the applicants submitted in Froome, it was delegated to a lawyer. And as I understand you, you're saying that under the FOA in Guyana, that would be contrary to the scheme of the legislation. In Canada, that's because of a different legislative scheme. Is that it?
I don't know the answer to that question because I don't know the legislative scheme that was being operated in that case. But what I am saying is that the legislative choice in Guyana is clearly that the power be exercised by a minister, and I've given the reason why I think that that is proper legislative policy, and therefore why it is that it would be an improper exercise of the power of delegation to delegate it to a public officer, because that public officer would not is not a member of the executive and therefore would not be able to exercise the political judgment that would be necessary in those circumstances. But the point that I'm making is that even though in the case that we have imagined, that is to say that the minister is being called upon to issue an ATP in relation to her son or her daughter, as the case may be, even though you could imagine that you solve the problem in either of the ways just suggested, in this case, that's not a solution, because the basis of the applicant's complaint is that any member of the executive would be infected. That's the argument. The argument is that anybody would be, of course, as they say, beholden to the president and the vice president and the attorney general who have made all these statements. So there could be no minister who could be appointed, who would be now a member of the government, who would not be subject to the same complaint. And we respectfully submit that, having regard to the fact that nothing is alleged against this minister, except that she ridiculed the second applicant, not even the first. Nothing is said about her in relation to the first applicant. The only complaint is made in relation to the second applicant, and it is about what one would expect would happen in any political campaign. Respectfully, according to their own case, they ought not to get any relief, in other words, even if bias is established in relation to this particular minister. And that's our application of this.
That's the easy case.
That's
Now,
the easy case.
Yes, what if, again, hypothetically, one of the three top officials against whom allegations of, shall we say, intemperate statements were made, was in fact the Minister of Home Affairs? How would you approach that issue?
That would be, that is to say, as to whether again, don't forget, Your Honor, at this stage of my argument, the assumption is that bias is established.
Yes, no. We understand you fully. And obviously, you do not concede that. Right. Mm-hmm.
But on the assumption that bias is established, then the two solutions that we have just found cannot
Can't
work.
Be used. Exactly.
Can't be used at all.
Right.
So that you're stuck with the minister to whom the extradition portfolio is assigned, exercising the power, because that is the only minister, or or put it this way, it is only ministers to whom the extradition portfolio is assigned who can exercise the power, but all of them are compromised in accordance with the arguments with the
Ex hypothesi then, how is that problem to be resolved? Because on the hypothesis, which none of us, of course, is asserting, that there was this systemic bias, how is that to be resolved consistent with the rule of law?
Consistent with the rule of law, since seeing that somebody has to make the decision, and the only persons who can make that decision by law are compromised, then the decision just simply has to be made. In other words, Your Honor, we have to hold our nose and proceed.
I thought you'd have said that the court ultimately could superintend whether the conditions would have been satisfied.
But that would be done. But that would be done in any event.
Right.
So we're just dealing with the problem of bias by itself. But the point is, and I'll come on to that when I'm dealing with the nature of the function that is being exercised and interrogating exactly the extent to which the rule of bias can apply. But the fact of the matter is that the merits of the complaint, that is to say, whether the extradition is actually unlawful or would not in fact be made, that will be interrogated by the magistrate. That will be interrogated by the High Court and the Court of Appeal and the CCJ. So there's all the protection, the rule of law protections that you're referring to, Your Honor. All of that will be canvassed before judicial officers.
So that's why you contend then that the issue of bias and the litigation of that issue is misplaced in relation to the minister.
That's
because
correct.
Even in a situation where you can see that there was in fact bias, that would not halt the proceedings. They would proceed to the second stage of the judicial hearing. Do I have you right?
Yes, and of course there are many points that I make. There's also a great degree of artificial.
And it is only the minute.
Sufficient.
Before the request is made, and somebody is therefore in custody, maybe on bail, but certainly in custody, and therefore the minister has to decide. You can't take your time about it. You have to be mindful of the fact that somebody is in custody and a request has not yet been made, or an ATP issued, or the exercise is being performed at a point in time where there is no provisional warrant, but there may be concern that the person might hear about the request and flee Guyana and put themselves beyond extradition. So I'm saying that there is some constraints of time as far as the exercise of this power. So that will obviously impact upon the degree of investigation that the legislature would expect the minister to engage in. So against that backdrop, the first section 8.1 says, a person shall not be extradited under this act from Guyana to a Commonwealth or territory, or could be committed to custody and so on, if it appears to the minister, to the magistrate, to the High Court, to the Court of Appeal and so on, A, the offense of which the person is accused or has been convicted is an offense of a political character. Now that obviously means that for the minister to say, does it appear to me that the extradition would be unlawful? You're going to have to look at the offense. And looking at the offense, which would be in the documents that the minister is provided with, because there's a requirement to provide particulars, etc., the minister would look at that and say, well, does that appear to me to be an offense of a political character? So the minister must ask that question. Then the next one, the request for extradition.
So I think we're following the logic of what you're saying.
Yes.
My sister said she had a follow-up question. I don't know if you still have it.
Thank you, President. What I've been trying to assess is whether the kind of examination, which the applicants have argued
Yes.
is required under Section 12, actually arises given the nature of the responsibility placed on the minister. So, for instance, the applicants have argued that when deciding whether an ATP ought to be issued, a minister has to look at evidentiary compliance or sufficiency. The applicants have argued, for instance, that the minister has to make an assessment as to whether there would be any discretionary bars against unjust or oppressive extradition, and the Catroni factors. What I'm just trying to make sense of is whether under Section 12, whenever a request comes in, the minister is required to make a positive determination about all of these matters.
Yes,
that's a very different kind of responsibility than.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I'm submitting no, because what I'm doing that by way of the examples. When the minister says, I looked at this and it does not appear to me that the offense is of a political character, the minister does not determine that the offense is not of a political character. And similar, when it says the request for extradition is in fact made for the purpose of prosecuting or punishing him on account of his race, tribe, sex, religion, and so on, the minister would be looking at the material and saying, it does not appear to me that that is the actual purpose of it, but it does not mean that she's saying that is not the purpose, because later on evidence may be presented by the applicant when they have the opportunity before the magistrate or the high court of adducing evidence that this is really for the purpose of prosecuting me because of my race, nationality, or political opinions, and so on and so on.
So, Mr. Mendes, my last question on this, just to be clear based on your submissions, is that can bias arise if the nature of the statutory function is not adjudicative in character? It's a basic question I'm asking.
Yes, and that is basically our submission. Our submission is that we accept the general proposition as we must, because that is what the authorities say, that there's an obligation of fairness attaching to every statutory power, every statutory duty. The question is, what is the content of fairness? And that would depend upon the nature of the function and the statutory and factual context in which the power is to be exercised. And one of the factors which the authorities have indicate, and the learned friends that cannot dispute it, there are so many authorities that say it, one of the important questions is whether you are adjudicating on anything. And we are respectfully saying that the minister does not adjudicate in the sense of make a determination of any of these things. All the minister is saying is, I have done the examination that I am duty bound to do under Section 2 to determine whether I am prohibited from issuing the ATP. And all I am able to say at this stage, and in fact, that when you look at the minister's evidence, that's what she says. She says, all I am able to do at this stage is say, nothing has come before me which would suggest that any of these prohibitions apply. And as a matter of fact, she says, maybe that evidence might be presented later on, but it has not yet been presented to me. So I am unable to say that it appears to me that it would be unlawful. And to the second part of your question, and this is the Section 8 would address the question whether it appears to her that it could not lawfully be made. But the second question is whether it would not in fact be made, and that requires the minister to engage in some speculation as to whether the High Court, in exercising its power under Section 17, that is to say, to decide, because under Section 17(2), the High Court may order a person to be discharged if the court is satisfied by reason of the trivial nature, etc., and that would include the Cotroni principles, that having regard to all of the circumstances would be unjust or oppressive to extradite him. So it is possible for the minister to say, well, it appears to me that it could not lawfully be made, sorry, that would not be made, as opposed to could not lawfully made, that it would not be made because there are these factors that are pointing so compellingly in the direction of it being unjust and oppressive to extradite that it appears to me that it would not lawfully be made. One of those possibly later on down the road is the Cotroni factors, but the Cotroni factors require a lot of evidence to be put before the court. And again, the ministers pointed this out. A lot of evidence to be put before the court concerning who started the investigation.
Mr. Mendes, I think we are so, but
thank you very
I
much.
think no. I think part of what you have explained is, and again, I'm seeking your feedback as to whether my understanding of what you're saying is fair. That is my understanding. This is not a rubber stamping of or ticking of boxes of receipt of documentation. Even though you frame it in the negative, what is required of the minister goes beyond that. You say it is not adjudicated. Fine. I'm not on the labeling for the moment. I'm on the actual exercise of what has to be done. More is involved than simply rubber stamping. This is not a clerical function the minister is exercising. This is an executive, discretionary decision within the limitations of what you have described. Is that a fair? Sorry, is that a fair summary?
Sorry, before you answer, I invite you to answer, but could you, in answering, also wrap up? You've gone well over the hour assigned. So, having answered my brother, if there's any specific point you need to make beyond what's in your written submissions, please do.
I try to figure out this with this part, David Nandalal.
And we're going to move on. Thanks.
Unfavorable contemplation normally expect of political opponents. So this is personal between the minister and this particular person. Then that is different. That is not within the contemplation of
So basically, all I go through still mean if you hear Nandalal part. All right, I got the part. Hold on. All right. So I don't know what part the part really come from, where them people get a part from. This is 3 hours. And we ain't hear nothing. Thank God I got a piece. Decide, man. Anyway, this is a 3-minute went down. May know when this went down, but this is a 3-minute that definitely went down, whereby Nandalal was asked some questions. Let's get this.
Language of that provision speaks to any person charged with a criminal offense is presumed to be innocent, etc., etc.
Now, Mr. Attorney, isn't that then a valid reason for the applicants to attack the ATP at the source? In other words, they know that the only way extradition process can begin is if ATP is issued. Without issuing an ATP, there will be no extradition.
Thank you, Miss Campbell. I know the little hearing, little drawn out and little kind of boring, people might say, but we just trying to get some context upon what really happened within the hearing. You know what I mean? So we had to show the little piece and then show the species before we out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Process. So if you have an extradition process during which, or in the context of which, the fair trial, all those considerations we take for granted in criminal justice system will not apply, do the applicants then not have an interest in attacking what you call the door to make sure people don't get in to that process where these other rights do not apply. Is that an argument to validate their attack, which one might call a preemptive strike at this stage?
Mr. Nandalal, I don't want to be unfair. I don't know if you could take a note of that, but I really wanted to jump in before that because I'm not sure I heard you correctly. Are you saying that the Article 144 doesn't apply to committal proceedings? Because
No,
if so,
I'm saying,
that would be an extraordinary submission in my view,
no,
and I'd ask you for some authority for that.
Your Honors, if you look, Scantleberry, for example, dealt with it. Scantleberry from Barbados. It's not that it doesn't apply to committal proceedings. In an extradition hearing where there is no charge, because the provision says what it says. No
There might be
person.
aspects of particular things where certain aspects of Article 144 mightn't apply, but you can't say as a general rule that due process rights, protection of the law rights don't
No, I'm
start.
not.
Well,
No,
let me finish, please. Don't start from the time of charging. I mean, you couldn't be making that submission, can you?
no, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the full impact of the article does not apply, and the authorities say so uniformly. And, Your Honors, I am not saying that the
Mr. Nanla,
is not reviewable.
Mr. Nanla, you say, Attorney General, you say something and then you say something else that has caused me pause. When you made that comment, I also made some notes to ask, but my brother has asked. So, you say the Constitution is the supreme law, correct?
Of course.
The FOA is legislation in Guyana, correct?
Yes.
Is the legislation subject to the Constitution?
Certainly, Your.
So, constitutional principles govern, subject to the legislation and the language. Won't you agree with that?
Yes, Your.
So I'm very troubled when you say, maybe like my brother, I don't know, that, and I wrote it, right to a fair hearing does not apply, and I highlighted it and put it in bold, to an extradition hearing.
Military language of that provision speaks to any person charged with a criminal offense is presumed to be innocent, etc., etc.
Now,
When you look,
Mr. Attorney, isn't that then a valid reason for the applicants to attack the ATP at the source? In other words, they know that the only way extradition process can begin is if ATP is issued. Without issuing an ATP, there will be no extradition process. So if you have an extradition process during which, or in the context of which, the fair trial, all those considerations we take for granted in criminal justice system will not apply, do the applicants then not have an interest in?
Okay.
Fact that there are indications in the public domain, allegations against the appellant. There's no difficulty, or the appellants. There's no difficulty there at all. I think what we are trying to tease out is whether, given the very high office that you hold, and given your functions that you perform in relation to this matter, you're the chief legal advisor to the government, whether on reflection you think that, I've forgotten the word used by my
Bless up all board.
Fuji, this was a proper or the best way, I should say, to express the government's position. I mean, there is a difference between, I imagine, other ministers, other members of the government making statements, and the Honorable Attorney General, who is the chief legal advisor to the government making statements. And I think we are not, drawing any conclusion or making any findings, but we are just wondering whether the Attorney General making those kinds of statements to which the appellants refer is the best practice for the kind of society and democracy that we seek to encourage in Guyana.
The Attorney General did not make any decision. The minister made the decision, and the Attorney General advice was limited in its compass, as is the evidence before it. The ministers, and then I wish to dwell a little on the role of the minister.
Yes.
So, Your Honors, first of all, there is some contention that the minister is not named in the legislation, and there is some argument because of that it can be delegated to any minister. Your Honor, that issue was addressed by our courts in Sobers a very long time ago and settled that the Minister of Home Affairs performs that function. Performed it then, performed it since independence, and has been performing that function since.
Mr.
And I
Mr.
don't think
Attorney, sir. Sorry, I need to return to this. The question is not whether the Attorney General made any decision. The question is the position of the AG in government and in the context of this case. You started your submission by saying the Attorney General is the legal advisor to the government. And in that capacity, the AG advises the government and ministers. And here we are talking about the complaint of the applicants that the AG was making certain comments on the basis of which they are now claiming that the whole process is tainted by bias. And the concern is whether the Attorney General of the country should be making those comments that have been alleged against him in the context of this case, casting aspersions, running a running commentary on an ongoing judicial process, the extradition process, suggesting that by innuendo about the failings or not of the magistrate handling the case. Yes, you say that these are comments in the public domain. Is there something to be said that it is part of the job of the AG to bring the population back to saying, look, respect the process, let the process take its course, rather than making comments that might add to that negative public view on the matter? That's what I'm interested in. I believe, I don't know whether the president goes as far as that, but that's certainly for me.
Let me assure you that the Attorney General did not make any improper comments. The comments that were made were in their proper context. They may have been misquoted and used for political purposes, but they were not on improper statements.
Okay,
and they were made in due regard to the administration of justice and the right to form and express opinion.
We hear you, Attorney General. I think we can move on from that point.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. So Your Honors, again, I come back to Warner. In Warner, Warner followed Novgrid in holding that the ATP function was special. It was a gateway function. It's purely administrative. And there's a whole body of administrative functions that do not attract the full rigor of natural justice and all the other principles. Not that an administrator performing an administrative function is not required to act fairly. There is always a requirement to act fairly. But there can be situations, and there have been situations, where an administrator can act fairly, but natural justice is not required or employed in the performance of that particular function.
Honorable Attorney General, I think just to nuance what you're saying, I don't know that the natural justice point as a right to be heard is what is being advocated with rigor here. What I think is being argued with greater rigor is the tainting of the process by alleged bias and a debate on on which is the relevant test. I thought where you may be going on this is to say that the general Porter and McGill test is not apt, as Mr. Mendez has suggested. It's a different test. But I noticed that you say that the Warner case held that the ATP is purely administrative, but I don't think are you suggesting that administrative actions do not attract the supervisory jurisdiction of the court?
No, not at all, Your Honor. In fact, in our written submissions, in the reply, the applicants seem to think that we have said so. We are not saying so.
So if we agree, right? So if we agree that the decision on the ATP attracts the supervisory jurisdiction of the court, I think we know it's clear that you agree to that. Yes. The question, yes, do we agree to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. So the question becomes, in this case, whether or not a challenge on bias is available. First, conceptually, is a challenge on bias available to the applicants at this stage of an ATP? I raise that because there is a way of reading the Court of Appeal that suggests this may not. So I just want to be clear to understand what is your position. Is it that in your position, in your perspective, a JR challenge on the basis of bias is available at this stage to challenge an ATP?
Generally speaking, yes. If there is any relationship of a pecuniary nature, etc., the ordinary principle, yes.
Okay. What would you say is that test? How do you frame that test? What should be the test? Because I accept the principle way back, the principle of fairness is not one fixed form of fairness, it is contextual. In public law, we understand that. So how would you frame that test?
I respectfully say, Your Honor, that the test must be absent those disqualifying factors. Those disqualifying factors must be absent. And this is a political act, it's an executive act. The authorities have even described it as a diplomatic act. This particular act, once those disqualifying factors are not present, and also one has to look at the policy nature of the decision.
So are those disqualifying acts for you?
It is not reviewable on that ground.
So for you, are the disqualifying acts limited to personal and or proprietary interest? Is that what you are saying? When you see, you use that expression a few times as absent the disqualifying acts. What do you mean specifically by that? Are you limiting that only to some sort of proprietary or personal interest?
Personal, financial, etc.
Limited to that?
Yes, Your
Honor. All right.
And Your Honor, if I may go to...
sorry. Attorney General, 1 second. 1 second, please. I'm interested in an exchange you've had with my learned brother, Mr. Justice Jamata, when you say Potter and Maykill is not apt. I'm not sure I see why not. I'm not saying I have a view on it, but I'd like to know why Potter and Maykill test will not apply from at least an adapted version of it, to the extent that we are saying, well, the test for bias has to be seen from the eyes of a reasonable, well-informed person acting in good faith. I think that, in other words, they need to know the circumstances and then ask themselves that in all these circumstances, do we see bias? Isn't there an adaptation of that in this discussion?
I'm not saying that Porter and McGill doesn't apply. I'm saying that Porter and McGill speaks on informed, sensible, prudent bystander who would take into account the particular factual context here. You see, Your Honor's
So
Parliament
the point being, your
vested
point
this
being,
power.
is your point then being that it does apply to Potter and McGill?
Yes, and we have said so in our written submission.
Okay,
We have
sorry,
said
I
so.
just wanted to be sure.
And
I
we have
thought I heard you say
detailed,
that.
yes, and we have detailed
Attorney
once
General,
applied.
I don't want to press the point, but my note is the Attorney General's position
You don't know what they doing to Nandalali, boy.
apply submissions. I may be wrong, but I think that is at odds with what Mr. Mendez has put forward to the first respondent. I think Mr. Mendez has said, and if I'm wrong, Mr. Mendez, please correct me. I think he has said that in this case, the Porter and McGill test is inapt, and in fact, the appropriate test is a different standard test, which is, I'm calling it a public policy test, but it is the test that suggests that all that is required is that the decision maker have an open mind and make a genuine decision. Now, it may sound kind of the same, but there is a significant difference in public law between those two tests. So why am I saying this? Because I want to be very clear on the record that you are of the view that the Porter and McGill test does apply, but when we apply it in this case, there will be no outcome of bias. I just want to be very fair to you about that. That's why I have said what I have said. Is that your position as the Attorney General?
No. If the test applies, bias is not a factor. When one examines the all the relevant considerations, a politician can be biased and still act fairly. The test is, did the minister act fairly? Did she follow the statutory conditionality?
And the man holding his head like Jesus Christ.
Was she influenced by something irrelevant? Was she the authorized person to perform the function?
You see, Mr. Honorable Attorney General, we have to write a judgment, I assume, at some point in time, and we have to try and understand what the law is before we apply it. So therefore, just to be very clear, you are agreeing, therefore, that from your point of view, the Porter and McGill test does apply, which is the note I made earlier. I just want to be sure, yes?
It does apply, but once it is applied, then all the factors will be taken into account, and it would conclude with the contention or a possibility of a contention that if a person exercising that power is politically influenced, then that doesn't affect the fairness, the legality of the decision.
The Court of Appeal staged it differently. I think the Court of Appeal came into Porter and McGill as a backup reasoning. Court of Appeal said to begin with,
And them people is stupid.
Task for Fairness or bias is not engaged because it is a ministerial function, not judicial. And then say, but in any event,
and that's exactly what.
Even if that argument fails, then Porter and McGill doesn't give you a finding of bias. Is that my understanding of what the Court of Appeal said?
Yes, and we have adopted that position.
All right.
As the very position. So, Your Honor, if it is unclear where we stand, we say that Pinochet disqualification doesn't apply, and even if, and that's the exact manner in which we have expressed it. Your Honor, there's a passage dealing with automatic bias. There's a passage that I want to share with Your Honors. And it's taken from administrative law by Sir William Wade, the 10th edition, the 11th edition actually. And they're quoting from Lockerbie, but they have expressed it in a manner that I find very, very interesting, and I would like to share it with the court. And Lockerbie, as the court would know, was decided 1 year after Pinochet. And this is the caption that I want to leave with the court. I sent it along with the authorities. In a leading case, the Court of Appeal, speaking with the special authority, this is the Court of Appeal of England, speaking with the special authority of the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of Rolls, and the Vice Chancellor. Be very important.
That's my mid face.
Powerful functionaries. Together laid down that while everything will depend upon the facts and nature of the issue to be decided, objections could not be based on religion, ethnic or national origin, gender, age, class, means, or sexual orientation of the judge, nor ordinarily with the judge's educational, social, employment, or service background, nor his political associations, professional associations, example, membership of the court, membership of social, sporting, or charitable bodies, or prior decisions, etc. None of these grounds they are saying cannot be the basis of objection against a judge. Now, in the judiciary, in the realm of state authorities and powers, the law exacts from the judiciary the highest form of impartiality when performing judicial functions. And they're saying here that the judges' political associations, etc., are to be discounted and not to be taken into account, or cannot be the basis of challenge. That principle, I dare say, with respect, must apply a fortiori to a politician, a minister exercising an executive function in a political environment. And that is why we say respectfully, that the ATP doesn't attract the rigor of the bias doctrine as it would ordinarily apply even in administrative tribunals. That is why the legislature vested that power in a minister, and it appears on its face that it is non-delegable. And I advance that proposition as part of my general submissions moving on to a different issue. And I am happy that the court identifies the difference in the language of the draftsman in section 12, where the legislation devolves a responsibility on the foreign affairs minister, but permits right there upon that devolution, permits a delegation.
Yeah, so, Mr. Attorney General, thank you very much. I know you're going to go on a little bit further on the delegation issue, but just to draw a line under the question of the test and whether bias is relevant, I do think that the Court of Appeal did make reference to the fact that bias is applicable regardless as to whether the act is described as judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative. That was clearly said, but of course the factual context.
That's
factual
correct. That's our
context has to
position
be
now,
considered.
respectfully.
Absolutely, and she went on to say, this is the author of the judgment, quoting from Ramdas, that procedural justice obviously applies. And I believe that this was also the view of the Privy Council in the Warner case 2022. So that the point is that procedural justice obviously must dictate the conduct of the minister in deciding whether to grant the ATP. I thought I would just say that because we may not have been quoting exactly verbatim from the Court of Appeal, but the Court of Appeal did in fact suggests that procedural fairness applies in relation to decisions relating to the ATP.
And Your Honor, I have said so. That is why I am saying there is always a duty to act fairly. Yes. But that doesn't necessarily mean one must engage natural justice to act fairly. In fact, when one reads back CCSU, when Lord Diplock formulated those three heads, irrationality, procedural impropriety, and I believe was illegality, in dealing with procedural impropriety, in explaining why he did not use the term natural justice, is because he conceived of situations where procedural impropriety can be achieved, but the context may not permit the application or doesn't warrant the application of natural justice principles. Lord Ruskin, in that very case, also said that it's better to let us put the term natural justice to rest and use the term to act fairly instead. And those are the principles, Your Honor, I respectfully ask that we engaged in considering. I'm not at all saying, and the contention, as I understand it, of the applicants is not that they are making an allegation that the minister acted unfairly. They are saying that the minister is infected with the bacteria of bias. In fact, the entire government is infected with that bacteria. And that ipso facto and without more is the germ that is enough to invalidate the decision. And we say respectfully, that is not the law that ought to apply to the ATP function. And that is why I share that passage from Wade, where Wade is saying that even the judges' political association, if they have, ought not to be taken into account. In other words, the Pinochet case has been narrowed significantly in its application. And we have quoted authorities that have narrowed it down too.
I did not mean to provoke into another flight into this area, Honorable Attorney General. You're going on, I think, to the non-delegable nature of the functions.
Yes, please, if I may resume there with your kind permission.
Yes.
So, Your Honor, where the draftsman wanted the delegation to take place, the draftsman authorized the delegation. Where the draftsman wanted the minister to perform, the power was vested with the minister. And there is a reason. That's why I began the way that I began, by adverting to the nature, the political and international nature of the obligation in relation to extradition. And if I may go quickly to Froome, as reference was made to it repeatedly. Froome says this, speaking about the desirability and the necessity of the minister performing the function. Froome at paragraph 76 says the expertise of the decision maker is the most important factor. They were speaking about an ATP. The expertise of the decision maker is the most important factor. The minister has the expertise in political matters, international relations, and the ramifications of the law of extradition. It is the minister who must consider good faith and honor of this country in its relations with other states. This necessitates a high level of deference. So, Your Honor, when Parliament, in its wisdom and for great reason, as is exposed here, repose that power in a minister, I say respectfully that we should really be careful and approach it with great circumspection when considering authorizing a dedication.
Well, that's it, guys. We'll catch up more from tomorrow as we get the real video. Big up to Albert sending this video to me, because I was wondering I playing a 1 hour video And nothing mean, you know what I mean? Nothing really going on, nothing happening. But this is the showdown whereby you was asked questions. So tomorrow, we're going to bring back a piece. Definitely with the questions that was asked. And we got more things to touch upon. So, you know, it was a pleasure being here with you guys. You know what I mean? It's 11 o'clock. Yeah, I don't know how we're doing it already over here. So, you understand? Thanks to everybody that take time and tune in. Peace and love tomorrow. Yo.